distance. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely afternoon. In just a few moments, not right now, but in just a minute, I will be asking folks to stand, remove hats, and students, when we do that, we ask that you silently turn and face the flag. Please be sure to take off hats and remain silent. What will happen at that point is they will enter and they will post the colors, and we will sing the national anthem. Will be led by our band and our choir. You're invited to sing with them. I ask that when they're done and you're done, please remain standing, and then we will together say the Pledge of Allegiance. After that, we'll sit down. So, at this time, please rise, remove your hats, and silently face the flag.
Present arms.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Thank you. You may be seated. Again, good afternoon and welcome to all of our students, our staff, and the community here in Cook County, and a very special welcome to our veterans. We thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy week to attend the 2023 Cook County Schools Veterans Day program, a time set aside each year to honor the brave and the heroic people that have served our country as members of the armed forces. This afternoon will include a few patriotic music pieces performed by the Cook County Schools Band and the choir, along with a brief message from one of our local veterans. So at this time, I invite us to enjoy our first musical piece, Proud of Our Veterans, by Teresa Jennings, sung by the Cook County Schools Choir, along with our second and third graders. Thank you so much to Miss Cindy Johnson, our second and third graders, and our choir for sharing that piece. At this time, please turn your attention to the Cook County Schools Band, along with some of our generous community musicians, under the direction of Mr. Ray Johannick, as they perform Stars and Stripes. Thank you so much to the Cook County High School Band and the community musicians for sharing that wonderful piece and making this ceremony special each and every year. At this time, it is my great honor to introduce our guest speaker today for our Veterans Day program. Ty Backlund graduated from Cook County High School in 2009. He trained at the John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. He was deployed to Afghanistan in 2011, where he was decorated for his actions during a complex ambush at Paktia province. Ty and his wife Irene and their daughter reside here in Grand Marais, where Ty continues to serve our community as a deputy sheriff for the Cook County Sheriff's Department. It is truly my pleasure to welcome Ty Backlund to the microphone to share some brief reflections for this 2023 Veterans Day ceremony. Welcome, Ty.
Thank you all, I really appreciate it. I am hoping that I can get through most of this without getting a radio call that I have to run off to. So if I have to run all of a sudden, I'm sure it's probably not that big of an emergency. But again, thank you all for coming here. I have to say that this was probably one of the most difficult things to think about what I would say to all of you today. There's a lot of heavy, deep emotions that I feel as it relates to this day. And it's hard to put it into words, and even if I could, I don't think that the words could do it justice. But I have such a mixture of feelings regarding Veterans Day. I lost friends and I mourn them, but I'm also proud of the friendships that I made and the service that I did. And that's just become a part of my life. And if there's anything that you could learn from veterans, whether they've served in combat or just served their country or in any capacity at all, it would be to take care of each other as a community and look out for each other and try to make this a better place. I know it sounds a little hokey and maybe a bit too lofty in terms of ideals, and you just need to open your phone and turn on the television and it's nothing but cynicism. And we're all told to hate each other for our differences, it seems these days, especially if you're paying attention to anything resembling politics. And I would ask that, as ironic as it seems to ignore politics on Veterans Day, I would ask that we try to come together as a community and try to improve our town and our county and our states and our country and try to make this a better place. And being here in high school, I remember being 17 years old, signing my contract with the Army to go over there. For me, the irony isn't lost on me that I did not like Grand Marais growing up. I felt trapped here, and look at me now. I gotta say, I laugh at the irony of being back, but I love it here so much. And it took going away and seeing other places and getting a broader perspective on things. And I hope high school class, the seniors, juniors, sophomore, freshmen, you guys will be out there in the world very shortly. And I hope you get new experiences and get out of here and see something different and see what else is going on in the world, and that you try to bring the friendships that we have for each other here in this community, the love that we have for each other as a small community that takes care of each other, and try to bring that to places that doesn't even exist. And as far as the students, the littlest ones who are singing the song, I want to say great job. Very, very good job singing to such a large audience. I think you guys did fantastic, and thank you so much. But I just want to end on this, that I have the strongest feelings when it comes to this country and this community, and it's so hard to articulate it, and it's so hard to express it to you. but if there's anything that you could take away from my nonsensical ramblings, it's that the Army brings people from all over this country. A small town in Grand Marais with people who grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, people of all sorts of backgrounds, racial identities, or the rich, the poor, every single section of this country before any Europeans came over, natives to this land. And it takes all of them together, and it gets us all working together as a team to accomplish goals. And I don't see any reason why we as a people and as a town and as a nation can't do that for more honorable goals such as improving our own lives here. And I hope that none of you will know the hardships of war, and that we can finally have an everlasting peace in this world. But again, maybe that's too lofty a goal and too high an ambition, but I think it's worth aiming for. Certainly it goes down a lot smoother than the cynicism of this world. But I want to say thank you for your time, and thank you for letting me ramble at you, and God bless you all, and I really appreciate you giving me the time. Take care.
Thank you so much for those authentic and meaningful and touching words, Ty. We are honored to have you here today, and we are blessed to have you helping to protect the Cook County community each and every day. Thank you so very, very much for your time today, Ty. And now the Cook County Schools Band, along with our community musicians, are going to share with us a piece called March of the Magnificents. Regarding this song, John Kakavas, the composer of it, wrote, "In the military sense, I apply magnificent to the common soldiers rather than to a grand parade of majestic pageantry. The unhailed, uncelebrated heroes, most of them covered with mud, unshaven, proud, are the noble essence of magnificence. Those are men and women whose sense of humor never failed them, who never lost their optimism in the darkest of days. Whether taken prisoner or holding fast in their foxhole, the infantrymen have always been the unsung heroes of conflicts. To those who died and to those who live, this music is dedicated." And now, March of the Magnificents. Thank you again to our band members, our community musicians, and Mr. Ray Johannick for that wonderful piece that did paint quite a beautiful picture of infantrymen marching, so thank you for that. Ms. Johnson, if our singers are singing again, you can go ahead and move them at this time. Today is a day for us as individuals and us as a school community and for the greater Cook County community to recognize the service of our veterans in all 5 U.S. branches of armed forces. It is the day first set aside in 1919, at that time known as Armistice Day, to celebrate the first anniversary of the end of World War I. In 1938, Armistice Day became a national holiday, and in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day. We still celebrate this day every November 11th in honor of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918 and the end of World War I. Veterans Day honors all past and present veterans in all 5 military branches. At this time in our ceremony, we will honor our local veterans as our Cook County Schools band, the community musicians, and our choir, along with our 2nd and 3rd grade students, they're going to lead us in Armed Forces, the Pride of America, a song that honors each branch of the military with a special section in the song. When each section begins, a couple of our students will hold up the flag of that branch, so you'll know what branch it is that the tune is playing to. And when that happens, we invite our veterans from that particular branch to stand, and as that ends, we will applaud our veterans from all 5 branches of the U.S. forces. So, I think we're ready. At this time, Armed Forces, the Pride of America. A big thank you to the choir, our second and third graders, the band, our local musicians, our honor guard, our technology crew, our custodial crew, and our clerical support, and especially to Deputy Ty Backlund, Deputy Sheriff Ty Backlund, get that right, for making this very special day possible. And of course, thank you to our U.S. veterans for your service to protect the liberties that we all cherish so deeply. Let's thank our veterans with one more round of applause. Thank you, students, for honoring our honor guard and our flag so respectfully. You did a fabulous job on that. This brings an end to our 2023 Veterans Day program, so please listen to some instructions as we leave here. We're going to dismiss in the order of our elementary students first, then our secondary students, and then middle school students, and then our high school students, and then finally our members of our public. We want to make sure our students get back to their classes, and then we get out of here safely, right? So thank you so much to Ty again, and to all those that helped with this ceremony. Thank you to our veterans for your service. And at this time, elementary teachers only, please go ahead and take your students back to class.